Hello Nidorinas and Nidorinos, and welcome to Viridian City, where today the Viridian Fissure are hosting the Spikemuth Devils, and this is a big matchup for both teams. They have a lot riding in this, as the Devils are going to start out with Crocodile and Incineroar, whereas Mudsdale and Garchomp are starting out for the Viridian Fissure. But let us know in the comments today who you think is going to win today, the Viridian Fissure or the Spikemuth Devils. Crocodile is going to start out first, that speed advantage going to the Spikemuth Devils, and it's going to go with the power swap. And it's going to go straight for the pseudo legendary. So Crocodile would have switched all the changes to the stats, but none of those have happened. As Garchomp now goes with an overheat, Crocodile avoids that attack. Now Incineroar, Dark Fire type. It's going to go with the Clear Smog. And it's also going to target Garchomp with that attack. It's not very effective though. Now Mudsdale. It's going to go with the Horn attack. So he's going to go for Crocodile here, a very decent hit, and wait a second, Crocodile is Zoroark in its illusion form, so the illusion has worn off as Zoroark appears on the field. Explains why Crocodile was so fast. Zoroark is the second quickest Pokemon on the Spikemuth Devils and sets up for a Heat Wave. He's going to hit both Garchomp and Mudsdale. It's not very effective on Garchomp, but it does get a critical hit. Garchomp has that opportunity to respond now. It's going to go with a Wild Charge. This time going for Incineroar. Decent hit there. On the Alolan starter as Garchomp takes that recoil damage. Now Incineroar is going to go with the Flash Cannon. Looks like it's going to respond to Garchomp. Takes it down into the yellow. Looks like the Spikemuth Devils are trying to get rid of the pseudo legendary nice and early. As we're going to minimize coming from Mudsdale, it's going to boost its evasiveness on the field here. As always, this is a 6-on-6 Metronome battle, and if we hit that 20-minute time limit, we will go into single battle overtime. That speed advantage still being on the side of Zoroark. It's going to go for the Burning Jealousy. Those fire moves are ever present today. Burning Jealousy is avoided by Mudsdale, and it's not very effective on Garchomp. But Garchomp continuing to be targeted by the Spikemuth Devils. That Belly Drum is going to fail from the pseudo legendary. Now Incineroar is going to go with the Power Whip, but Garchomp avoids that attack that time. Mudsdale now goes with the Wood Hammer. And it's going to go for Zoroark with that attack, and it gets the elimination, so Zoroark has been taken down. Very good hit there by Mudsdale, who takes that recoil damage. And it's an evolution Umbreon coming out for the Spikemuth Devils. Now the Devils are sitting 9th. If they win today, you have to think they are finally going to reach the top 8. They've been trying to get in the top 8 all season. They've been fighting hard after a very slow start to the season. As we get a Phantom Force being set up by Garchomp, sort of disappear from the field, so you know the Spikemuth Devils won't be hitting it in this turn. Umbreon now is going to go with the Grassy Glide, but Mudsdale avoids that attack, which would have been super effective. You have to wonder if it would have eliminated Mudsdale. Now double kick from Incineroar is going to be avoided by Garchomp thanks to that Phantom Force. Now Mudsdale is going to go with the triple kick. Goes for Umbreon, hits the first one. Gets the second hit there. And it gets the third hit as well with the super effective move. Now, as I was saying, the Spikemuth Devils, they have that 7-6 record. They want that 8th win here today. Like I said, they lost their first 3 games of the season as that Phantom Force hits Incineroar. Takes it down into the yellow. It's not very effective, but it's got the job done. Umbreon going to go with a Rock Blast here. Targeting Mudsdale, gets the first hit. Does very minimal damage. It gets 2, only gets 2 hits with that not very effective attack. Incineroar now. It's going to go with a Shadow Ball. Continuing to target Garchomp. Wants it off the field, and Garchomp's taken down into the red. Garchomp has taken a lot of hits so far in this battle as we get a Grass Knot coming from Mudsdale. And it's going to go for Incineroar. I don't see this doing much damage to the Fire type. It's not very effective. Now Spikemuth Devils have the opportunity to take Garchomp down in this turn. Garchomp will go first though. And it's going to go with the Stone Edge. And it goes for Umbreon. You have to think it would have been better to target Incineroar with that move, but it does get Umbreon down into the yellow. Umbreon's going to respond with a Petal Dance, but Mudsdale avoids that attack as well, which also would have been super effective. Incineroar is going to go with the Power Gem, and Mudsdale avoids that as well. Mudsdale doing very well after that minimize. It's going to go with a Magma Storm. That Magma Storm is going to hit Incineroar. It's not going to be very effective, but Incineroar is going to be taking damage in between turns from the Storm. Now, the Viridian Fissure have had a very poor season so far, but they're actually still in with a chance to make the trials. They just cannot afford to lose any games. I think if they lose the next 2 games, they are definitely not going to make it. So they need a victory here today to make sure they're still in with a chance. Garchomp now goes with an Electro Ball, and that'll take Incineroar down. So Garchomp has outlasted both Zoroark and Incineroar, even after taking all that damage. Umbreon now goes with the Soft Boiled, so it's just going to restore its own health here, instead of going for the elimination. So the Viridian Fissure are actually doing very well to keep their chances alive. They're currently winning this battle with a 6-4 advantage. Mudsdale now going to go with the Sludge Wave. This is going to hit everybody on the field. It's not very effective on Garchomp, and thankfully it wasn't left poisoned. The 4th Pokemon now coming out for the Spikemuth Devils, and it's Scrafty, the Fighting Dark type. Now, Scrafty was actually drafted 10th onto the Spikemuth Devils, so it was their last draft pick. But it's actually had some very impressive showings this season. Garchomp now goes with an Aerial Ace. This will be super effective on Scrafty. And that's its target, and it instantly gets taken down into the yellow. Umbreon now is going to go with the Psychic Fangs. Going for Garchomp, and Garchomp has finally been eliminated. That Rough Skin is going to hurt Umbreon, but Garchomp is taken down. The first Pokemon eliminated from the Viridian Fissure. It took the Spikemuth Devils a lot of work to get that elimination. Scrafty goes for the Gear Up, but it does fail. Now Mudsdale is going to go with the Flatter. Targets Scrafty with that move, so Scrafty's going to have its attack, its special attack boosted, but it will be left confused here. Seismitoad now coming out for the Viridian Fissure. Seismitoad being that water ground type, it's very vulnerable to grass type attacks. Seismitoad will have that speed advantage on the field though. And it goes with the Pain Split. This is a very poor start going for Umbreon. So Umbreon's actually going to get some health restored here, and Seismitoad is going to lose some of its health. Umbreon has the opportunity to capitalize. Goes for a Fire Spin. Targeting Mudsdale here. Mudsdale is going to be taking damage in between turns from that Fire Spin. Scrafty can't shake off its confusion either, so it hits itself. Mudsdale has an opportunity to capitalize on that. It's going to go for a Self-Destruct. Mudsdale is going to take itself out of this battle. And huge damage being done around the field. Umbreon actually handles it the best as Mudsdale is eliminated, and Scrafty is also eliminated thanks to that Self-Destruct. Seismitoad's able to just hang on as we have Bishop now coming out for the Spikemuth Devils. And Flygon comes out for the Viridian Fissure. Now Seismitoad, as I said, just held on. It is now in the red. Umbreon's in the yellow. Flygon's going to have the speed advantage on the field. This is the second Dragon Ground type I've seen today, and it goes for a Weather Ball. And it's just going to be a normal type attack, and it targets Umbreon with that move. Umbreon gets taken down into the red. Seismitoad could actually capitalize here. And Seismitoad goes for a Liquidation. It's going to get that stab boost and goes for Bishop with that move. Very decent hit on the Dark Steel type. Bishop now. It's going to go for a final Gambit. Bishop's going to take itself out of the matchup. And it goes for Seismitoad with that move. So Seismitoad will also be eliminated, but Bishop has taken itself out at a very critical time for the Spikemuth Devils. There's now 3 Pokemon remaining for the Viridian Fissure and 2 remaining for the Spikemuth Devils. Umbreon goes for a Slash, targeting Flygon, the only Pokemon on the side of the Fissure at the moment, and gets a critical hit as well. We have Sandaconda coming out for the Viridian Fissure. And Crocodile, who was hinted at earlier with that Zoroark illusion, is the last Pokemon for the Spikemuth Devils. Now Crocodile actually could have been a member of the Viridian Fissure. It is a part ground type. So we get a Smart Strike coming from Flygon, and it's going to go for Umbreon. This should get the job done, and it does. So Umbreon has been taken down, and Crocodile is all by itself with 3 Pokemon to deal with on the side of the Fissure. Crocodile's going to go for a Crush Grip now. Goes straight for Sandaconda. Very decent hit on the ground type. Sandaconda's going to respond now. And it's going to go with a Memento. This is huge. Sandaconda's going to take itself out of the battle. It's going to lower the special attack and attack stats of Crocodile in the process. But now that 3-1 advantage that the Viridian Fissure had is now a 2-1 advantage. Going to find out who that last Pokemon for the Viridian Fissure is. And it's Mamoswine, the Ice Ground type, coming out. Mamoswine's had some very impressive performances so far this season. Flygon still with that speed advantage over Crocodile. It's going to go for the belly drum, so Flygon's going to cut down on its own health and maximize its attack stats. Crocodile could actually capitalize on this and get an easy elimination. And it's going to go for a Thunder Wave, which doesn't affect Flygon. The ground types are immune to electric type attacks. Mamoswine with its opportunity now goes for a Focus Energy, so it's just going to get pumped here. But Spikemuth Devil's a massive disadvantage. The Viridian Fissure could potentially get a win, and as I said, keep their hopes alive of making the trials at the end of the season. But the Spikemuth Devils want this victory. They want to make the top. They want to get into the top 8. They're still yet to sit there at the end of a round, as we get an air cutter coming from Flygon onto Crocodile. Crocodile goes for the happy hour. So everyone's going to be caught in that happy atmosphere. But yes, this might be that last chance. So we get a taunt now coming from Mamoswine, which means Crocodile will not be using its Metronome, but instead will be using Struggle. So it's going to get that recoil damage in between turns. From attacks, sorry. Not in between turns. Flygon now. It's going to go for the Magic Room. Everyone's Leopard Berry loses their effects as Crocodile goes for its Struggle. It targets Mamoswine. You have to think it would have been better to target Flygon and get it off the field as Crocodile gets that recoil damage. Mamoswine's going to go with a speed swap. So now Mamoswine's actually going to be faster than Crocodile as well. So there is nothing going Crocodile's way. It's at a numbers disadvantage and at a speed disadvantage. Flygon's still hanging on here. It is still in the red. Goes for the Heat Wave, but Crocodile avoids that attack. Mamoswine's turn now. And it's going to go for the Bug Buzz. This will be super effective on Crocodile, and it gets the job done. Crocodile is taken down with a critical hit, so the Viridian Fissure are still holding on to their chances of making the trials at the end of the season. And the Spikemuth Devils are still clawing their way to get into the top 8. They are still yet to taste that this season. But a very impressive performance by the Viridian Fissure. A very impressive performance actually by Garchomp, taking so many attacks from the Spikemuth Devils before it was finally taken down by the Psychic Franks from Umbreon. But the Viridian Fissure are going to want to look to continue this next week when they go to Vilestone City to face the Vilestone Combat. So that'll be a big game for the Viridian Fissure. Every game in these last 4 rounds will be huge for the Viridian Fissure to try and keep their chances alive. Whereas the Spikemuth Devils are going to host the Goldenrod Giants. We actually lost to the Viridian Fissure last week. And the Spikemuth Devils are desperately wanting to get into that 8, so they need that victory. They need every victory they can get. Because they, as I said, are still yet to taste what the top 8 feel like. But a very impressive performance to Flygon. I thought it did very well in this battle. Unfortunately, Crocodile could not get the job done, even after Sandaconda eliminated itself from this matchup. But Mamoswine with that Bug Buzz getting the job done. Very well done, as I said, by the Viridian Fissure. But Nidorinos, thank you so much for watching. I always appreciate it. And let us know in the comments below who you thought was the best on field today. And if you enjoyed what you saw, leave a like, leave a share. Oh, well, give it a share. Give it a subscribe. But more importantly, always remember, you are awesome, and I will speak to you guys next time. Bye.